Hey friends, Happy New Year's! You're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry. Dingy, overcast, gray, raw kind of day here on the homestead. Well, I have to fix this garden cart. You know, one of the problems that I've had is getting 4 of anything that are the same for quite a while. I now have 4 wheels that should go onto this garden cart to replace the ones that are all breaking up. Now, one of the problems with these carts that come from China, which is where this one comes from, is the construction is basically sound, but some of the parts, like those that are made of rubber, are pretty shaggy. Now, I just have to bend the cotter key so I can pull it out. It's coming out a little difficult, mostly because it wasn't completely straight and the axle is a bit rusty. Well, that's one wheel and tire that's going to go away. The reason why I bought new wheels and tires is really pretty simple. I waited until these wheels were on sale at Harbor Freight, and I paid $2 more for the wheel with the tire than I would have if I'd just been able to buy the tire and inner tube. It doesn't make sense to me, and besides, I have a use in mind for these old wheels. I have a bunch of them stacked up over here. I'm going to use them around the yard to help guide the garden hose in the summertime. And by guide the garden hose, I mean we don't want to be dragging the hose through the beds, and you don't want to have another person out horsing around with a hose in order to do some gardening. So we'll do that. Let's see if these wheels actually fit. It's just like it's made that way. Put the washer back on. See if I can feed this cotter key through so that I can secure the wheel. I'll need to go ahead and straighten it a little bit because it won't fit. Just want to squeeze where there's any bumps to try to straighten it out. That's getting better. Now you may be able to hear the generator running in the background. That's because it's been a 0 solar day. No sun that's come out. So that means there's no power being generated into our batteries. Well, not enough to run the house and keep the batteries at the same level. And we're going to have more days of this kind of weather going on. There we go. Now I just need to bend this cotter pin so it won't come out. There's one defective tire and wheel replaced. I'm going to go do the next one. You know, this isn't a really hard job at all. Anybody can do it. You just need a pair of pliers and some replacement parts. Now, if you want to buy a tire and Innertube and repair your cart that way, that works too. But you know, one of the problems with these Chinese tires is a lot of times they don't have a lot of life left in them by the time you get them. And what happens is the rubber tread starts coming apart. Number 2 out. Now this cotter pin is a lot more bent than the last one. So it's going to take me a little while of fiddling around with it to make it work. And by work I mean it has to go through the hole, put the washer back on so that it holds the wheel on. This cotter pin is really bent, a lot worse than the last one. You just take your time, go along each bump that you have in the cotter pin, straighten it out as best you can, and then start trying to thread it back through the hole. And that one went through just perfectly. No problem at all. Now, these cotter pins, cotter keys, whatever you want to call them, have legs that are of 2 different lengths. That means that one is going to stick down further than the other, and that makes it easy to grab a hold of that longer leg and bend it back. I've already reused these cotter pins. I don't know. This is the 3rd time, I believe. They don't wear out unless you break them. Now I'll flip the cart over and get the other side done. Now we moved a piece of heavy furniture in yesterday. It's heavier than I thought. And what that meant was this tire that was in the process of dying actually died once we put the furniture on the garden cart. And that meant the whole thing was a real pain in the neck to get into the house. Well, I only had to move, well actually, Irene and I had to move this garden cart with a couple of 100 pounds of furniture on it, oh, maybe 50 feet until we got in the house to use a furniture dolly. Then it was a matter of picking the thing up and putting it on the furniture dolly, and we pushed it down the house. No big deal. It would have been a whole lot easier if I'd replaced these tires earlier. Now this cotter pin is coming out really hard. It's the hardest one so far. I don't want to break it. And I got it out. Perfect again. And that tire's flat too. I didn't know that. It's really important when you get ready to put these cotter pins in to straighten them out. The more you can straighten them, the easier the pin's going to go back into the hole. And that, of course, is the whole objective here. Let's see if this one goes through. Third pin's in. Now bend the long leg back. That one's done. One more wheel and tire to replace. But that one came out really easy. And that tire's flat too. I guess, well, all four of them is flat. That cotter pin didn't bend too badly pulling it out. So I think it's going to go back in easily. And it did. I like it when things work easily. I'm willing to work hard if I have to. I'd rather not. Let's flip this over and see how it rolls. Just like new. I'm going to have to get some bolts and nuts. One of the problems with these garden carts is as they age, some of these pieces of hardware that hold it together will rust or they will wear out, and we lost some nuts off the bottom of this cart. So the steering doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So I'll go find some Loctite and some new hardware to put the steering back together, and this job will be completely done. But for right now, we can put weight on this cart again. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and for heaven's sake, ring the bell for notifications, because we have a lot more going on. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year's.